Hi everybody. Today we are going to discuss about interceptive orthodontics. What is interceptive orthodontics? It refers to measures undertaken to prevent a potential malocclusion from progressing into a more severe one. That means it's already there. So we have to intercept it and we have to prevent it from progressing into a more severe one. So it can be defined as that phase of science and art of orthodontics employed to recognize and eliminate potential irregularities and malpositions of the developing dentofacial complex. So we undertake certain procedures under the heading of interceptive orthodontics. They are number 1, serial extraction, number 2, correction of developing crossbite, control of abnormal habits, space regaining, muscle exercises, interception of skeletal malrelation, removal of soft tissue or bony barrier to enable the eruption of teeth. Serial extraction. Serial extraction is a procedure where planned extraction of certain deciduous teeth and later specific permanent teeth in an orderly sequence and predetermined pattern to guide the erupting permanent teeth into a more favorable position. Jurgen in 1929 coined the term serial extraction. Nance during 1940s popularized this technique. Three popular methods are Dewell's method, where he suggests the extraction of CD4, that is deciduous canine, followed by deciduous first molar, then the first permanent molar. The second method is the Tweed's method. Tweed's method suggests removal of D4C, that is the deciduous first molar, followed by first permanent premolar, then extraction of the deciduous canine. The third method is Nance's method, where they suggest the removal of D4C. Again, extraction of first deciduous molar followed by first premolar, then the extraction of the deciduous canine. So, what are the indications and contraindications of serial extraction? The indications of serial extraction are a class 1 malocclusion showing harmony between skeletal and muscular system. Next is the arch length tooth material discrepancy. The following are the features where there is an absence of physiologic spacing, unilateral or bilateral premature loss of deciduous canines with midline shift, malpositioned or impacted lateral incisor that erupt palatally out of the arch, markedly irregular or crowded upper and lower anteriors, localized gingival recession in the lower anterior region, which is a characteristic feature of arch length discrepancy, then ectopic eruption of the teeth. These are the features of arch length tooth material discrepancy. Then mesial migration of buccal segment, the abnormal eruption pattern and sequence, lower anterior flaring, ankylosis of one or more teeth. C, where growth is not enough to overcome the discrepancy between tooth material and basal bone. Next is the patients with straight profile and pleasing appearance. Now, what are the contraindications? The contraindications are class 2 and class 3 malocclusion with skeletal abnormalities. Next is the space dentition. If you have a space dentition, then there is no need of serial extraction. Anodontia or oligodontia, open bite and deep bite cases, midline diastema, class 1 malocclusion with minimal space deficiency, unerupted malformed teeth, example dilaceration, extensive caries or heavily filled first permanent molars, mild disproportion between arch length and tooth material that can be treated by proximal stripping. Now we'll see what are the advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are treatment is more physiologic as it involves guidance of teeth into a more normal position, making use of the physiologic forces. Next is the psychological trauma associated with malocclusion can be avoided by treatment of the malocclusion at an early age. Next is it eliminates or reduces the duration of multibanded fixed treatment. There is a better oral hygiene is possible, thereby reducing the risk of caries. Health of investing tissue is preserved. There is a lesser retention period, that is, we don't have to hold the patient for long. It is indicated at the completion of treatment. Lesser retention period is indicated at the completion of treatment. More stable results obtained as the tooth material and arch length are in harmony. Now, what are the disadvantages of serial extraction? It requires clinical judgment. There is no single approach that can be universally applied to all patients. The treatment time is prolonged as it is carried out in stages over 2 to 3 years. It requires patient to visit often. Thus, patient cooperation is needed. As extraction spaces are created that close gradually, the patient has a tendency of developing tongue thrust. Extraction of the buccal teeth can result in deepening of the bite. There is a risk of arch length reduction by mesial migration of the buccal segment if it is not properly executed. Ditching or space can exist between the canine and the second premolar. The last is the axial inclination of the teeth at the termination of the serial extraction procedure may require correction with short-term fixed appliance therapy. Anterior crossbite. Anterior crossbite is a condition characterized by reverse overjet where one or more maxillary anterior teeth are in lingual relation to the mandibular teeth. The anterior crossbites should be intercepted and treated at an early stage so as to prevent a minor orthodontic problem from progressing into a major dentofacial anomaly. They say the best time to treat a crossbite is the first time it is seen. Anterior crossbite can be classified as dentoalveolar anterior crossbite, skeletal anterior crossbite, and functional anterior crossbite. The dentoalveolar crossbite is often manifested as single tooth crossbite and usually occurs due to over-retained deciduous teeth that deflect the erupting permanent teeth into a palatal position. It is treated using tongue blades, Catalan appliance, and double cantilever springs with posterior bite plane. Skeletal anterior crossbite usually result due to maxillary skeletal retrognathism or mandibular prognathism or a combination of both. These are best treated by growth modification using myofunctional or orthopedic appliances. The functional anterior crossbite occurs as a result of occlusal prematurities, that is pseudoclaustral malocclusion, where mandible is compelled to close in a position forward to its centriculation. These are to be treated by eliminating the occlusal prematurities. Habits. Interception of habits. Some of the habits that can affect the oral structure are thumb sucking, tongue thrusting, and mouth breathing. The thumb sucking habit, most commonly practiced by the children and is capable of producing damaging effects on the dentoalveolar structures. It is intercepted using habit breakers. Either it can be removable or fixed. Tongue thrusting habit. Tongue makes contact with any teeth anterior to the molars during swallowing. It can lead to open bite or anterior proclination. It is intercepted using habit breakers along with educating and training the patient about the correct technique of swallowing. Next, the mouth breathing habit. The mouth breathing affects the orofacial equilibrium due to lowered mandibular and tongue posture and can produce severe malocclusion. The interceptive procedure should be based on obstructive or habitual nature of the habit. Now, space regaining. If a primary molar is lost early and space maintenance are not used, a reduction in arch length by mesial movement of the first molar can be expected. In such patients, space is regained by distal movement of the molar. The space regaining procedures are preferably undertaken at an early age prior to the eruption of second molar. The following are some of the commonly used space regainers: Gerber's space regainer, space regainers using jack screws, space regaining using cantilever spring. Next is the muzzle exercise. The normal occlusal development depends on the presence of normal orofacial muscle function. The muzzle exercise helps in improving aberrant muscle function. The masseter muscle exercise. The masseter muscle exercise to strengthen masseter muscle involves clenching of the teeth by the patient while counting 1 to 10. Then the patient is asked to repeat this for some more duration of time. Next is the lip exercise. A number of exercises have been suggested for the lip and cheek muscles. Stretching of upper lip to maintain lip seal is an important therapeutic measure in patients having short hypotonic lips. The patient is asked to hold a piece of paper between the lips to aid in stretching. Other exercise, the patient can be asked to stretch the upper lip in a downward direction towards the chin. Also, holding and pumping of water back and forth behind the lips. Button pull exercise. A button is taken and a thread is passed through the buttonhole. The patient is asked to place the button behind the lips and pull the thread while restricting it from being pulled out by using the lip pressure. The tongue exercise is one elastic swallow used for correction of improper positioning of the tongue. Oral elastic is placed on the tip of the tongue and the patient is asked to raise the tongue and hold the elastic against the rugae area and swallow. Another exercise is intraoral elastic is positioned over the tongue in a designated spot for a prescribed period of time with the lips closed. The patient is then asked to swallow with elastic in place and lips apart. The last one is the hold pull exercise. The tip of the tongue and the midpoint are made to contact the palate and the mandible is gradually opened. This exercise helps in stretching the lingual frenum. Now, skeletal malocclusion. How to intercept the skeletal malocclusion? Skeletal malocclusion, if diagnosed early, can be intercepted to reduce the severity of malocclusion by growth modulation. A. Interception of class 2 malocclusion. The skeletal malocclusion is a result of excessive maxillary growth, deficiency in mandibular growth, or a combination of both in case of a class 2 malocclusion. The maxillary growth can be restricted by use of face bow with headgear, while mandibular growth is enhanced by myofunctional appliance. The interception of class 3 malocclusion. The class 3 malocclusion is a result of the mandibular prognathism, maxillary retrognatism, or a combination of both. The chin cup with headgear helps in restriction of mandibular growth, while Frankel 3 or face mask therapy is used in case of maxillary deficiency. Removal of soft tissue and bony barriers. Whenever a permanent tooth fails to erupt at the appropriate time, its eruption may be stimulated by surgically exposing the crown. The surgical procedure involves excision of the soft tissue and removal of bone overlying the crown of the unerupted tooth. The surgically created opening in the tissue should be slightly larger than the greatest dimension of the tooth. So these are the procedures that is undertaken in the interceptive orthodontics. Keep watching these videos on YouTube and please subscribe to my channel for further updates about orthodontics and orthodontic classes.